today. This is a star with the meaning one which has a lot of wealth. So this star in itself gives a lot of wealth to the person. As we take up the cases, we will realize that this star also creates certain amount of marital issues, but that we will cover when we take up the flip side that each star has to offer. Dhanishta Nakshatra Sutra. If any ascendant or planet is placed in Dhanishta Nakshatra, then one aspect of the planet shows that the person will have wealth generating abilities. Sean Connery is a British actor, 87 years of age, having an estimated wealth of just $120 million. He refused to return to movies because he said retirement was great fun. Had he taken up the offer of playing Gandalf in the Lord of the Rings series, he would have earned 400 millions and would have become the richest actor ever. He has properties the world over, coming from very basic roots, going on to become one of great names in the British film industry and in Hollywood. He has also been a part of the James Bond series. So let us take a look at his ascendant and let's see where his ascendant lord and the lord of the nakshatra Mars is placed. Lord of the nakshatra Mars is placed in the 5th house of power, authority, name and fame. 5th house we know is also the house of entertainment and it is also the house of celebrity. So Saturn, which is the lord of the ascendant, is placed in the 11th house of gains. It is also the 11th house of family, spouse, accomplishments, achievements, and not to mention gains all over again. So this person had a lot of gains in life, came up very strong in life. The next person that I take up is the sweetheart of the Indian film industry, Salman Khan, the quintessential bad boy of the Indian film industry, and yet very much loved by all. He has gone on to accumulate single-handedly so much wealth that he is one of the biggest stars in the Indian film industry and ranks 71st on the Forbes list of 100 richest celebrities. A person with a big heart, he donates 70% of his earnings to poor. And he has a foundation, being human. So let us see his moon, which is sitting right there in the Dhanishta Nakshatra, does for him. Moon is the 6th lord of discretion and service, sitting right there in the 12th house of name and fame. Moon is also the 6th lord of litigations, sitting there in the 12th house. It has given him litigations, it has also put him in jail, but it has also given him a lot of name and fame internationally, not to mention making him one of the richest people the world over. We have a lady here who's known to be one of the most beautiful ladies and has portrayed one of the most beautiful ladies on screen too, Cleopatra, and she is Elizabeth Taylor. Elizabeth Taylor had a net worth of approximately 600 million. She was also known as Liz Taylor and she was recognized as one of the greatest actresses of her times. She was married 8 times and she had 7 husbands. Richard Burton, she married him twice over. Well, she had a jewelry estimated of 150 million. Yes, all ladies, please pucker up. And not all of those jewelry was gifted to her by her husbands. In fact, one diamond given to her by Richard Burton was said to be very, very expensive, but she was capable of generating her own income to buy her own jewelry. Her perfumes and her cosmetic range said to have garnered a lot of wealth for her. So let us see what Elizabeth Taylor has to sustain this amount of wealth for her. Mars here is the ascendant lord and the 6th lord of divorce also, sitting in the 4th house of wealth and fixed assets. And Mercury, which is the 8th lord of transformation, change, and the 11th lord of gains, is also sitting in this nakshatra. So gains is something that she had. And Mercury, being the 11th lord, also represents family and spouse. Though she was gifted a lot from her family and spouse, she did generate a lot of her own. 8th house is also the sustenance of marriage, but we know that this nakshatra does provide with a certain amount of difficulty in sustenance of marriage. So the sustenance of marriage was a questionable deed here. And finally, Hugh Hefner. Hugh Hefner was the owner of the Playboy magazine. He was an American businessman and a magazine publisher. He was also the founder as well as the editor-in-chief of the magazine. He was also the creative officer and he owned the Playboy mansion. Hugh Hefner, in his magazine, which is a lifestyle publication, brought about topics like sex, which were in those times a taboo. He put that right there on the public platform to be discussed with a lot of explicit photographs on it. He had a fortune which was $50 million at the time when he passed away, and his wealth decreased significantly after Playboy stock lost about 80% of its net value. Jupiter, which is the Karak of wealth and the owner of the 4th house called the Home and Security, and Playboy Mansion, which was a big, huge home, was a very famous place in its own right. And then we have Jupiter, which is also the 7th lord of secondary profession, sitting right there in the 5th house of power, position, and name in Dhanishtha Nakshatra. It is aided by the Nakshatra Lord Mars, which is going strong in its position because Mars here is the Lord of the Nakshatra and it is exalted. So this gave him a lot of power in his field and it gave him great places in publication. Let us not forget that 5th house is also the house of publication, writings, and he made a great name of him right there. So if you have a planet in Dhanishtha and are having problems in generating wealth, know that there is definitely something around the corner that will work out for you. Maybe not make you like Salman Khan, but definitely help you reach certain heights. If you want to start a new work to be able to generate good wealth, choosing Dhanishtha as one of the nakshatras for the moon to be placed in is a good place to begin with. For all who are interested in nakshatras and learning about them, I have an extensive coverage of the first 9 nakshatras class coming up right there on 23rd June. Have a look at it on my website. With that thought in mind, have a good day, stay safe, stay happy.